Okay, I think I'm a reasonably intelligent person. This happened to me. I'll get to that in a couple minutes, but it's embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing. Senior scams, they're out there, a lot of them. Why do they target seniors? Well, number one, they have more money, you know, retirement savings, right? They've spent years building up their nest eggs to have enough money on hand. Scammers aren't stupid. They know that, right? Number two, in a lot of cases, they have paid off their home already. Unlike younger people that scammers might target, they might be even upside down on a mortgage or something. Seniors, in a lot of cases, probably most, have already paid off their home. It's a big target right there, big target. Number three, as you get older, memory loss. Scammers try to confuse them when they're on the phone, in person, whatever. Hey, I'm only 61. I've already experienced a memory loss. Have you guys had that where you go into a room and you're like, why am I here? What am I looking for? Senility? Who knows? Is it rearing its ugly head? I sure hope not. But memory loss, confusion. Yeah, I'm 61 and I'm experiencing a little of that already. And for those of you looking at me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a retirement channel for people on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video as well. And the fourth reason they are targeted for this, scammers, is if they do get scammed, in a lot of cases, they are embarrassed to report this scam. Even if it's for a lot of money. I've heard horror stories of people, losing $300,000 and their children, adult children, might not find out about it until months later because they were embarrassed. Okay? So that's the reason that scammers target seniors. So what are the different kinds of scams? Here's 4 of them for you. Number 1, Social Security scam. What this is scammers will use a fake, you know what? I'm getting so upset and tense by this. I need my retirement vodka. You can tell in my throat, right? Much calmer now, much calmer. So the Social Security scam. Scammers will, kind of copy or imitate a number that looks legitimate, for Social Security. They're going to try and call up and get you to give them information like your Social Security number. First of all, the thing you have to know is that Social Security Administration, in 99.9% of times, is not going to call you directly. You might get something in the mail. As far as calling you and asking for your Social Security number over the phone, that should be the number 1 tip-off right there. Right, guys? Hey, leave me some comments. Have any of you guys been targeted by scammers? What happened to you? Was it a positive outlook, negative outlook? Give me a couple more minutes and I'll tell you my experience. Again, embarrassing. Second reason, or the second scam, Medicare scams. And this usually happens during annual enrollment periods for Medicare. What they will do is they will use high-pressure sales tactics over the phone to say that their plan, their Medicare Advantage plan, is the best plan out there, and you need to make a decision now on whether or not to take advantage of that. And it's always a deadline thing, right? Well, you've got till the end of the day to decide, because right now it's your enrollment period. It's almost done. Seniors, especially if they're sitting around not doing much during the day, this will panic them. They can tend to get panicked at times, especially the older seniors, right? Confusion comes in. Memory loss comes in. What was that plan that I signed up for last year? That happens, right? That happens. Scammers know this. They rely on this. The third scam, reverse mortgage scams. Again, they're using high-pressure sales tactics to access your equity. Yeah, Now, we used a reverse mortgage for my mom after she suffered a stroke. Best thing we ever did, because we couldn't afford to pay for those high-priced, you know, assistant homes that she needed to be in. But there are a lot of people out there that know seniors in trouble might be good looking into a reverse mortgage, and they target that. Guys, if you ever get hit by this, make sure you're reaching out. Don't have someone over the phone reaching out and offering you a reverse mortgage on the phone. It's a big warning right there, right? Make sure you've done the research on it, you've reached out to them. Number 4, tech support scams. One of the big things they do is they call you up and they say there's a problem with your computer, or they just notify you on the computer that there might be a problem if you have any, malware or something in there. What they want to do is they get remote access and they run a fake test. And of course, it says there's a problem and they need money, your money, to fix that problem, or else your computer will not work again. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not that tech savvy. I'm just not, okay? So would I know if it was a scam? Well, usually if they call you on the phone, yeah, it's probably a scam. If they do it over the computer, that's tricky. I don't have an answer for you there. I really don't, but just be aware of that because it can happen. Okay, here's my story. Wake up. I know the first 6 minutes you're kind of nodding off, right? So when I was taking care of my mom a few years ago up in Reno after she had her stroke, I wasn't yet totally familiar with all the bills, that I was trying to pay that she had. Were we up to date on all the bills? I wasn't sure. It was in my first couple of months of trying to get everything organized. So it was, I don't know what it was, a weekday afternoon. My mom was at a hospital appointment. So I was at home, and at this point she was pretty fuzzy. Her memory wasn't good at all. So even if she was there, I couldn't ask her about this information. I got a call from a guy saying, you are more than 30 days delinquent on your power payment. I think it was Nevada Power, something like that. We need your money by the end of the day or else all your power will be turned off. And this was in the middle of summer, okay? So temperatures up there, 95, 100 degrees. For my mom, especially in her debilitated situation, she needed to be comfortable. So I didn't panic yet, but I was just kind of like, well, can you give me a little while to check into that? They're like, no, we need your payment by the end of today. I think it was already 3 o'clock and the office closed at 5, okay? I'm like, well, I was kind of like flustered because I didn't know what her history was on the payments. I didn't know. So the guy says, okay, let me give you 10 minutes. Call me back in 10 minutes, okay? And if you can come up with the information. So I hung up. I looked all over the place. And again, her records were kind of all over the place. I couldn't find anything. I called him back in 10 minutes at the number he gave me. When I called that, someone answered, said Nevada Power. So what's he doing? He's establishing legitimacy, all right? I asked for the guy's name. She goes, yeah, hold on one sec. She transferred me back to him. And he answered, Mr. Rogers, or whatever it was. I think, okay. Because I was thinking him in the back of my mind, maybe in the forefront of my mind, is this legitimate? They gave me a number. There was a receptionist, transferred me to the guy. Thinking, okay, all right. So I said, you know what? I really couldn't find information. He goes, well, now there's about an hour left till the end of the day. If we don't get your payment by the end of this day, within the hour, we're going to cut off the power. I was like, okay, so what do I do? He goes, there's a Western Union located over in the Vons, which is like maybe a couple miles from our house. We can go over there and send us the payment. He goes, you need to go now because sometimes there's a delay before the end of the day. And he goes, but I want you to remain on the phone with me while we do this. And I'm like, why do I need to remain on the phone? Because, and he said, well, I want to make sure we have you on the line in case they decide maybe to turn the power off before the end of the day. And I'm thinking, okay, I guess that's kind of legitimate. So I went into my car, still got the guy on the phone. Now he's talking small talk, just to keep me on the line. I pull out of my driveway. I start going to the Vons. Now, no one was home. My mom was at a doctor's appointment. Okay. He keeps me on the line, keeps me on the line. And then I just kind of had a flash. It's like, wait a sec. Even though the number was legit and all this just does not feel right. Okay. And I was at the point, I'm like, you know what? If power is turned off tomorrow, I'll deal with it tomorrow. So while I'm about a mile from the house, I said to him, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this today. If our power gets turned off, it gets turned off. And he was coming back and forth. No, you got to stay in the line. Stay in the line. Go to Western Union. I said, no, thank you. I'll call you back tomorrow. I clicked off. I went back to the house. Everything was the same. But you know what the scam was, guys? It was a twist on getting you to send them money. This scam was to get you out of the house long enough for a couple hours to where they could have someone come into the house and rob the house. He had also asked me, are you the only one home? Which I thought was weird at the time, but I was too panicked. Yeah, I was very lucky. I went online. In the Reno area at the time, people had been hit by this scam. I didn't know. I didn't know anything about scams while I was up there. I was very lucky that finally, thank God, something clicked in my head and said, this just doesn't feel right. And if it is, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I was lucky, guys. I'm one of the lucky ones. But you think you're intelligent. You think it's like, I can't get scammed. This was smooth. He was really smooth. So be aware, guys. They're out there. They're out there, and they target seniors, retirees. So keep some of these things in mind. Some of the 4 things I told you about. And, keep it in mind. Then, as always, we got this.